still Monday, of course, the first official work day of the week, the second Monday in the year 2022, of course, the second Monday in the month of January 2022. Thank you very much for joining us this morning on the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions, still part of our morning show right here, the one we call Morning Spice. Of course, we take a look at those critical issues, we dissect them, of course, a convergence of perspective right here on the floor of God's own state. The platform, the pinnacle of all discussions, is back on radio, Flow 94.9 FM. My name is Michael Oni. Now, this morning, we're still looking at the All Progressives Congress as a political party. So much is happening in that party. We expected the governors to meet on a date for the party's national convention over the weekend. But then, unfortunately, it looks like the cracks within the party has widened because the governors did not meet. We do not know what happened, the reason behind them not meeting. You know what the president said during that interview, of course, on the national television, that the party, the ruling party in the country, might give chance to the opposition PDP if those cracks are not tightened and, of course, issues are not resolved. Anyways, welcome on board, and we're asking the question this morning, a very critical question, the question of how thorough rather is the APC reconciliation ahead of the convention that is slated for February. Notice has not been given to the electoral umpire, the Independent National Electoral Commission, as we speak. Anyways, joining me this morning virtually is the Director General of Voice of Nigeria, of course, a party chieftain, All Progressives Congress party chieftain. He's joining me virtually, Sister Okechukwu. Glad to have you join us. Welcome on board, and good morning to you.
Good morning. Good morning.
Thank you very much.
I'm a foundation member of the APC. I'm not a chieftain. I'm not a chief.
Okay, so sorry about that. Foundation member.
Okay, foundation member of the APC.
Okay, thank you very much for the correction. Foundation member of the All Progressives Congress, Osita Okechukwu, joining us. Let's begin the conversation. How thorough has the reconciliation efforts of the interim head leadership of APC been in resolving all the outstanding issues of the party?
To be honest with you, it is ongoing. The committee headed by distinguished Senator Adamu Abdullahi was set up last year after the state congress nationwide. And going by the APC constitution, it becomes a very vital committee because we are the ruling party of the country by the grace of God. And when you're a ruling party, the contest for the structure of the party becomes heavy. We are the first political party, to my knowledge, of my 43 years in participation in politics from 1978 to date, that made it mandatory that a person that wants to be a ward chairman, ward secretary, ward vice chairman, to ex officio, had some money to pay in order to contest. And voluntarily, the members obliged and not paid some 10,000, as small as it is, as big as it is. But for the first time, for contesting for party offices, members were mandated to pay. And voluntarily they paid, showing the interest and the enormity of commitment and devotion the membership of the All Progressive Congress have in the party. So when you mobilize in such a nature that somebody paid to be the ward chairman, somebody paid to be the local government chairman, somebody paid to be the state chairman, and down the line the 27 offices of each of the executive cadre, it means it's an intense competition. And it means as well that it had shown that in the multi-party system we practice, that APC and PDP are the dominant political parties. So, which means if you have the ticket or the party structure, you have an advantage to win an election. So, for that sake, a lot of states had parallel congresses. And the leadership of the party, headed by Mr. President, His Excellency, M.M. Buni, who has the Caretaker Extraordinary Convention Planning Committee, CECPC, thought it wise that going by the party's constitution, you need to engage in conflict resolution to address those who are agreed on how the way manner the Congress was managed. So that was what brought the committee headed by the Civil Senator Adamu Abdullahi and other distinguished Nigerians. So they started last year. Like that of the Southeast will take place this week, the second week of January. They'll be addressing matters in Imo, in Enugu, and in Abia. I don't know, Anambra might come later because they have not done the Congress, and then the rest. So they were in the Southwest.
Do you think the reconciliation effort will put to rest the intrigues playing out in your party as we speak?
Why not? Why not? For us, unless those who might say it will not resolve the issue, will be those who actually are not they did not participate in delivering the child. Going by the King Solomon's model, we said we were the foundation members of the APC. We deliberately stayed in opposition over the years and later came to power at the center. So if you came to power at the center, there are frictions within your party. You will not say the child should be killed. Rather, you go for harmonization. So we're open to harmonization. The delegation for Enugu and Abia and Imo will be with the committee in Abuja this week. So we are open for reconciliation and harmonization, because if you do not harmonize, how do you win an election? Like us in Enugu, we are in no position. So if the old saying says that united will stand for victory.
Now, bearing in mind that we have a month in mind for the National Convention of the party, do you think the Reconciliation Committee will meet up the time for before the National Convention that might happen this February, because it is still under contention also?
Well, it's not a contention first.
Okay.
The most important thing in liberal democracy. Democracy is not a revolution. All the gains made in liberal democracy have been incremental. If you do not put your house in order and you jump into a national convention to produce a national executive, you might roll with crisis until the election. I'm not saying every issue will be reconciled, but I believe sincerely that what the leadership of our party and Mr. President has in mind is that up to 90% will be reconciled by the committee. And when it is done, don't forget that what they are reconciling is both the land and the man, according to the Igbo saying. Which one is the land? The land is the world executive that produced the world executive of 27 members. Produced 5 delegates to the local government congress and produced 5 delegates to the state congress. So you are going to harmonize to make sure that each of the major factions are part of the executive of each ward and are part of the delegates to the council and part of the delegates to the state and the delegates to the national convention. If you do not do that, then you are not preparing your party for victory. Otherwise, it is the onus on us as a ruling party at the center. Because every election is a referendum on the incumbent. So we must put our house in order. So the issue of the date for the convention is not sacrosanct. It's not cast in stone. Because if you rush to go to the national convention and you've not put your house in order to the best you can, to the best of the ability that will be done that is humanly possible, then it will be a foolish thing to rush. What's wrong if you hold the convention in March? Provided your house is more in order. What is wrong in holding it in April?
Are you acknowledging that the disagreement among APC leaders is delaying the party's national convention?
I sincerely believe that reasoning, rational decision making makes it more important to get the House as much as possible to be united before you go for the National Convention, so that you do not have a more scattered diagram. Because united, you head to victory.
Okay.
If you are miscarried, you lose the main election. So I have not talked with the members of the panel of the committee of the His Excellency MM Buni's committee, but
Okay.
my reasoning is that they are doing all they could to put the House in order before we go for the National Convention, and I think it's reasonable.
Okay, the president of the country, who is also the leader of the party, President Muhammadu Buhari, urged your party members and leaders to put their house in order so that the ruling party can retain power in the next year's election. And the president also warned against persistent differences and disunity and lack of agreement, which could put the platform in jeopardy during election. Now, the question is, do you agree with the amount of intervention the president is putting into this crisis in the party, or do we need maybe a presidential intervention to save the party?
If I understand what your question is, I will simply say that Mr. President, they promised the whole country that they want to bequeath a legacy of free, fair, and credible election. And if you extend it, effectively do so, it also will be important for him to have a political party that is united and that is in a position to do whatever it can internally to do an free, fair executive body at both the world level, the local government level, and the state and national level. So that the party is prepared. Don't forget that Mr. President is a retired general. He knows what it means that the units of the troops are united, morally high, before they will engage. Don't forget as well that we're also looking at the mode of the election that has come to stay, the BVAS electronic transmission. That it doesn't obey rigging. That is a vaccine to vote rigging. So if you want to avoid vote rigging, we're hot in Anambra because of the way our primaries was manipulated. I will pay dearly for that. We don't want to pay again. We don't want to be punished by the electorate. So if you don't want to be punished by the electorate, you put your house in order. I think that's what the leadership of the party, the APC, what they're trying to do is to put our house in order, so that we're not punished by the electorate.
Interesting. So I'm still asking the level of intervention by Mr. President, and one will be asking, if Mr. President is in power under APC is the ruling party, then the intra-party rift should not be to this extent. We should not see it to cause a rancorous relationship among the party members. But some persons are questioning Mr. President's body language. He more like acting, it is none of my business. I'm no longer going to be the president, or probably I'm no longer interested in politics after 2023. So the question is, are you comfortable with the amount of the intervention gotten from Mr. President in the crisis presently in your party?
From the analysis of your questions, there seems to be contradiction.
Okay.
On one hand, he said Mr. President is the over-intervention. On the other hand, he said it's aloof. I would not call it intervention. I'm saying participation. Because Mr. President basically, first and foremost, is a member of the APC. Secondly, the leader of the APC. So it's not an intervention. He has a ward. He's a member of the ward. He's a member of a local government. He's a member of the state, and then national. So I wouldn't call it intervention. Rather, I would say it's participation, which is normal in any liberal democracy. That you must ask about the platform that brought you to power. How is the platform faring? So it's not about Mr. President being overbearing it. That's not the type. In fact, he's the master in delegation of power. So nobody will accuse him that he's the one that will be on your neck if an assignment is given to you. Where I'm in voice of Nigeria, what he listens is our outcry for we need this, we need that. Not coming to tell me who to employ or who to deploy to this state or to that assignment. No, that's not his own deal. So what I'm saying exactly is that the party is going to come out fine. We are heading towards 2 off-time elections, Ekiti and Oshu. And those are their states to us that we do not want to joke with.
Those states you mentioned also have factionalization of the party. Even looking at the last Congress that took place across the nation, across the states of the Federation.
I told you that the distinguished Senator Abdullahi Adamu's panel was in I think they are still in the Southwest. But on coming back, if they come back this week, they will be treating the Southeast. So I'm saying the whole gamut of what's going on is a harmonization and reconciliation of members. Because when you are a ruling party, human instinct shows the person that if he becomes the chairman of Enugu State, yes, he might lead you to nominate somebody who becomes the governorship candidate, and that victory is 50-50. But if you are far off as some other missionary parties that are on the domain, you know that even if you become the presidential candidate, you might not win. You are aware of that. But if you are sure you win, the contestation to holding the party structure becomes strong. But the good luck we have in the Nigerian liberal democracy, as I used to tell them, are 2 things. One, evidence has shown that those who even impose candidates, they end up becoming the enemies of those they impose. That is also trying to reduce the number of impositions. Because those who imposed governors in the past ended up quarreling with those governors. Those who imposed councillors ended up quarreling with them. Those who imposed chairmen ended up quarreling. So it's even a reduction process. And then the electronic transmission of results like the smart card reader and TVAS. Okay. And also being acknowledged a teacher to all the political parties that this TVAS or electronic transmission is a vaccine to vote rigging. So if you go ahead and impose the Osito Okechukwu in Enugu State to run for governor because you love Osito Okechukwu, why the prevailing conditions then says no, you should put Mr. B, not Mr. Osita. If you do so, you pay dearly for it. So these are bringing a new ethos in management for political parties in Nigeria, where the parties are compelled now to do an in-house censorship, an in-house introspection, a deep rationing and rationalization, in order to actually bring the best that the electorate will vote seamlessly. Because you might have the cash and somebody might have the cash, but the party that brings the candidate to the better goodwill amongst the electorate wins. So that is the lesson of the Anambra election. So which you are going home with. So the what my party is trying to do, we have seen how PDP has ended up having their own convention. We're also trying to have a seamless convention so that we do not pick out within the heart. Let the decrease and the animosity be minimized. That is the whole idea.
Okay. It is still the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions right here on Flow 94.9 FM. We've been speaking with a foundation member of the All Progressives Congress. Of course, he's the Director General of Voice of Nigeria, Osita Okechukwu, and he's been speaking on the APC reconciliation and harmonization ahead of the National Convention. So let me ask you a big question here. What is the way out of the many factions that we are seeing across many states of the Federation, many factions of your party?
The way out is what's going on. The harmonization process, the reconciliation process. There are no 2 ways. I told you that the APC constitution, within the constitution of the APC is embedded internal mechanisms of conflict resolution. And that is what's going on.
So, looking at what is playing out right now, so many of the intrigues playing out. In fact, a neighboring state here, Akwa Ibom, having 3 factions. Some school of thought have argued that APC as a political party might not survive a post-Buhari's administration. I don't know how you want to react to that.
Oh, what you are saying is as if these are strange elements. The Secretary of the Caretaker Extraordinary Convention Planning Committee, distinguished Senator John Abanude, and distinguished Senator Godswill Abadi, they are not strange elements. They are not coming from the moon. They know themselves. And they know as well that we need to recover Akwa Ibom. Given the fact that the Akwa Ibom people will not forget easily how the Minister of Niger Delta, Godswill Abadi, transformed the state. That all our party needed is a united front. They are aware of that. So when the Reconciliation Committee comes to Akwa Ibom State, they know it is in their interest that they are reconciled. So they will not remain divided. That is the idea. It happens even in your nuclear family. Your son and your daughter might quarrel. Your wife might go one side and you return back as a father. You now ask, what's going on? And when they explain to you, you find a way to reconcile it. It's a human issue. So there's nothing hard and fast rule. So I do not blame those who think that it is irreconcilable. But I do not believe what they're saying.
Okay.
Because I told you there are 2 issues that makes it imperative for everybody to listen to reconciliation. One is that those who impose people in the party did not benefit the way they thought they would benefit. Is it not the same Godswill Abadi that nominated the man who is the governor there now? Why did they quarrel? It's the same thing. So if you are insisting on imposing another person, what are the assurances you won't quarrel? And most importantly, the electoral process and the system of the electoral system by Independent National Electoral Commission headed by Professor Yakubu Mahmood had shown that if you trump up an unpopular candidate, if you impose an unpopular candidate, the party definitely was going to lose the election.
All right.
So that calls for introspection. That calls for censorship. Internally, censorship, without making noise. You now say, I'll sit there, please, you cannot be the governorship candidate of Enugu. No. We've examined the position, the majority of the opinion is against you. Please, when we win, there's something to do. You can give some of your supporters to the man. When he wins the governorship, they will make commissioners. So these are issues that happen all over the world.
All right.
One of the largest parties of the world is the Congress Party of India. They don't even do primaries. What they do is to set up a committee to go to Akwa Ibom and know who is more popular. They will tell the rest to step down, and they will nominate the person who is more popular on the ground, and the man goes for election on their behalf. So it's not that we are trying to give a lot of weight to the in-house discordant tones. It will be reconciled.
I want to really appreciate your time this morning. Thank you very much. Because of time, we might not continue this conversation, but we will return to you as soon as we have more details concerning the intrigues playing out in your party, and definitely we hope you will respond to our request. Thank you very much for speaking to us.
Just go to the bank that it should be harmonized.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. We do appreciate you. All right, that's the Director General of the Voice of Nigeria, Osita Okechukwu, for, of course, speaking to us on the APC reconciliation and harmonization ahead of the National Convention. So much intrigues playing out in the party. I will be speaking to one more panelist on the program this morning. Of course, there appears to be no light at the end of the tunnel for Governor Mai Mala Buni-led All Progressives Congress Caretaker Extraordinary Convention Planning Committee. This factional caretaker committee came out over the weekend and insisted on conducting a parallel national convention on the 26th of February. Don't forget that a notice has not been given to INEC, the electoral umpire, and the notice should have been given. There is this 21-day notice that should be given to INEC as electoral umpire, and to the factional caretaker committee to match words with action. The faction formally wrote Buni-led caretaker committee to vacate the national secretariat of the party. One will be asking, what audacity? Well, these are some of the intrigues playing out in the party. This was even as lack of consensus among APC Progressives Governors Forum resulted in the cancellation of the meeting scheduled to hold yesterday. Of course, they were meant to come together and talk about these intrigues playing out ahead of the party's national convention. Do not forget that the party has been factionalized across many states of the federation. So one will be asking, when will these troubles end for APC? Anyways, joining me this morning to share his thoughts on the issue of reconciliation and harmonization ahead of the national convention of APC is Engineer Michael Zoemena. Of course, he's a chieftain of the party. Engineer Mike, good morning to you and welcome to the platform on Flow FM.
Good morning, Mike, and it's good to be here.
Thank you very much for joining us. Your party, the All Progressives Congress, is headed for a likely controversial convention in the month of February, given the failure to inaugurate the state chairman, and you're also racing against time. Are you not worried?
Well, thank you, Mike, for having me here. I am a bit worried, but not completely worried.
Okay.
I'm not completely worried because this party is a deeply rooted party. The party is a large party, and in a large party that is also the ruling party, you expect interests to be high. Because don't forget that the president is doing his second and final term, and so it means that horse tradings for the position of president, for all the elected positions will be high. And politicians know that once you have a hold on the NWC, at least you have done a bit of your job towards actually your dream. So for us, we are not. If I tell you, Mike, that we are too happy with what is going on, I will be telling you lies. But we are confident that the arms of the party that will deal with this are on top of it. I am sure that in due course, before the convention, during if you cast your mind back before Adams Oshimole came, we were in somewhat this kind of position too. But I was in that convention, and everything came through consensus. At the end of the day, it was just one or two positions that were contested for. So there's a check in the party that holds the party together. So I know that the leaders of the party, the elders, the BOT, the caucus, they will sit back because they also have a lot to lose. So if the party disintegrates.
You have a trust in the reconciliation and harmonization of a committee that will be making their way to the east next week. You trust
Senator Adamu.
Yes,
is a decent man, former governor, senator now, the elder of the party. So ordinarily, I should have confidence on him and in this committee. On the 13th, yes, that is of this month, they are meeting with our contingent. Okay. Which means the our group, the group of the mainstream party, which belongs to, which is led by Donatus Kwankpa and Oju Zokalo, because that's the mainstream APC. You know, every other person is just trying to. Our goal in Abia is to have, because this is a distraction, is to have a party ready to, you know, relieve Abians of this bad problems of PDP. You know, so we expect that on the 13th, after the meeting with those with the Adamo committee, then they will have light at the end of the tunnel.
Okay, interesting.
We are confident that the organs of the party, so put for conflict resolutions, will do justice to the party's seeming little problems.
Okay, you said your side is the mainstream of the party in Abia State, and
of course.
But we've seen some stakeholders from your side moving to the other side. I mean, joining High Chief Ikechi Emenike.
Who are those people?
We have names. We have names. Engineer,
can you mention the names?
Ben Godson was with the other side. Ben
Godson, who wanted to contest who contested for deputy state chairman under Donatus Kwankpa's and lost.
He contested and he's now. I have like three names here. Engineer Mike.
Excuse me, Michael. I'm telling you, you know me. I've never told you lies. You know, he contested to be the deputy chairman of the state chairman of the party and lost. Okay, and then the former legal advisor couldn't, his locality, I mean the number not, couldn't return him in the ESCO. Okay, the organizing secretary was also not returned. So, you know, in politics, it's a game of interest. And so they decided to go and see whether they can be relevant to the other side. Are they the people we should lose sleep for? Absolutely not. We have in Okwa East, where Ben comes from. We have Mark Wambara. You know, we have Goldie, who is now the state deputy chairman. You know, so what are we talking about? We are not. These guys are not. Mike, there is absolutely no problem with the party.
Okay.
You know why I said mainstream? Let me tell you why I've said mainstream.
Yes.
Each time they come to you, they mention people in Georgia. They mention Friday and Wosu. These are the two they mention, is it not?
But it seems they've been in contact with the CECPC, looking at some activities going on the other side.
No.
We've not seen much of those activities going on from your other side.
If you are working in Flow, Flow FM, is it not?
You're very correct.
Good. So, and maybe you have a friend at the leadership of a Flow FM. And then, you know, you have your problem and then you go to them for aid. That doesn't make it right. We have a constitution of the party. We have a guideline for everything we do, including this convention that is coming on. What is the problem? Now we are looking at guidelines for the convention so that it will be rank off free, is it not? Now the point is that the guidelines say if you go to Abia, go to Donatus Kwankpa-led ESCO, and then go to the party office, which is at number 38 Azikiwe Road. Okay? And then they decided to go to one place, you know, at Nkwebu, and stay there and do whatever they want to do. Do we need to lose sleep over it? Okay. At the end of the day, at the end of the day, Mike, truth will always prevail.
Engineer Mike, information reaching us because I had a conversation with the publicity secretary of the other side.
No, he is not the publicity. He is not publicity. Listen, the guy you are talking about, the guy was my boy when I was there. Until I decided that look, this party, this channel should stop, because the most important thing is not all this we are doing. The important thing is Abia, the soul of Abia. The president is at the state. It's not Michael. It's not Okezala. It's not Ikechemeni. It's
Okay.
not anybody.
My question is still on reconciliation and harmonization, even ahead of the National Convention. Now, he's told me that their side of executives contacted your side and ahead of the inauguration, and I don't know if you're aware of this. I mean, extending olive branch for
who is he to extend? We should be extending to him. I just told you I said, who is the leader of the party? The leader of the party is not anybody who has not contested for councillor. The leader of the party is former two-term governor of this state. The leader of the party is the chief whip of the Nigerian Senate. The leader of the party is His Excellency Dr. Ojubo Zakalu. That is the leader of the party. And then the leader of the party is working with the Right Honorable Achon Obioma, who is the chairman of the party. You understand what I'm saying?
I'm getting you, Engineer Mike.
So, if Michael, there's something I have always asked them. They mentioned Nkiru Georgia. That's the only person they mention. Then, if you want me to cancel that out, I will mention Ben Kallo. I will cancel Nkiru Georgia. Then I will mention OUK. Then who else would they mention? You understand what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? I will mention Dr. Uche Oka, who is the sitting minister in Faja. Excuse me, sir. I'm trying to prove to you that we are the mainstream, you know.
Okay, but is it about these names that you've mentioned, or about the one that the national body listens to?
Excuse me. Politics is about names. Politics, if your office, Flow FM, does not have Michael, does not have Samson, is another building. Is it not true?
I'm getting you, Engineer Mike.
And you know what, Michael? Politics is the only ingredient that we use to cook politics is human beings. And if I tell you what, if somebody tells you that the senator will be there, then the minority leader of the House of Assembly for Abia will be there. Then the senator for representing Abia North will be there, and then somebody who has never does that party want to be alive. Does that party want to be alive, Michael? All
right, we hope that.
Excuse me. Before Oji came to this party, we had run election and we lost. We didn't win a councillorship seat. And then in 2019, Oji came. And Oji brought about three House of Assemblies, 2 House of Reps members, then 1 senator. I mean, Michael, what are we doing? This is
I believe these are some of the issues that the committee will look into during that reconciliation and the harmonization. But just yesterday, there was a special congress held in Umuahia. That was on Saturday.
I love to call it a picnic.
To elect a replacement for your late friend, God rest his soul, Enyi Habo, as directed by the CPC. You're calling it?
No. The National Secretary, who was served from 48 from the court, denied that he didn't authorize that charade that happened in Azumaya. Michael, okay. I'm telling you, because we have started and we're going to serve him from 49 and then commit him to prison if he doesn't stop. Because there's a court order stopping the charade. At best, what happened at Umuahia was a picnic. And you know what? The guideline is clear that you don't do this in somebody's home. You don't do this in a private residence. They did it in private, and so it's null and void and of no effect. So everybody is free. You see, we didn't lose sleep. We didn't even go near there. You know, I saw some securities that they keep. We never even lose sleep over them. We don't even think about them. What we do is we go through, like we have a court order. We are going through, by this January, we're going to court. If they think it's not true, so why are they calling to court? Why are they coming to court?
Okay.
We should have left it and then moved on, so that we'll see what will happen.
Okay, Engineer Mike, in a very quick one, because we need to throw the lines up in a minute. Do you see an end in sight of all these issues before the national convention of the party, especially the intrigues playing out in Abia State?
Listen. Truth is petty, and darkness and light, if they fight, even a torchlight, even a candle will dissipate darkness. You understand? So we are confident that the party, knowing the truth, knowing that as we speak today, the chairman of the party is Honorable Donatus Nwangba. The office of the party is number 38 Azikwe Road. That is the truth. And so the party must, if they know, unless they want, to cause unnecessary implosion in the party. If not, even in Oman cannot, sir. If you talk about being leadership of the party in Oman cannot, you talk about Right Honorable Stanley Ohajo, who was Speaker, 2,000 Speaker who was in House of Reps, who was an acting governor for the state. It's not anybody else but that man. You have our dear father, who is the board of trustees. You understand? So it's not somebody who is just like me, who has never considered. Even me, I'm different because I am holding politics of the party. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
So we must know the truth. The truth, the Bible says that if you know the truth will set you free. And the truth is that we are expecting them. Of course, when you mention this other people, God bless the soul of my friend. You called him my friend, and he truly was my friend. I'm talking about the honorable man. Even the guy they just already now, case the honorable, now we brought him to the party. Hello?
All right, Engineer
we brought him to the party.
Osaimena, we have to let you go, but definitely we keep tabs with you as the event unfolds in your party, the APC. Thank you very much for speaking to us. It's always a pleasure having you on the platform on Flow FM.
God bless you, Mike, and then you're doing a great job. You're doing a great job.
You're welcome. Do enjoy the rest of your day. Well, that's Engineer Michael Osaimena, of course, APC chieftain right here in Abia State. You heard the intrigues playing out in the party, and we also spoke with Osita Okechukwu, Director General, Voice of Nigeria, and also a foundation member of APC in Nigeria. So we're still about the APC reconciliation and harmonization ahead of the national convention. You can share your thoughts with me. The lines are very much open, of course, right here on Flow 94.9 FM, 0808 182 6949 or 0811 605 2949. You can also drop messages on 0906 510 8289. The platform, the pinnacle of all discussions on Flow 94.9 FM. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Michael.
You're welcome.
Happy New Week and Happy New Year.
Thank you very much for joining us.
I remember Mr. Prince Willishagu from here in Omonachobo.
All right.
Mike, I get this and infuriated when hearing from these two men, both the Lucifer and the last speaker. I can see them as, being speaking from the food paradise. How can they be telling me that there will be a reconciliation of a party within 3 weeks? My brother, what kind of reconciliation is that? What kind of reconciliation can they have when none of them can agree that they have factionalized, factions in their parties? Is it when you tell your doctor actually where you want, where you get wounds, that the doctor will start from there? They have not even agreed that they have factionalized APC. Now, Osita, one of the herdsmen in that is in Voice of Nigeria, a very intelligent man, but I'm seeing him as speaking from the darkness of his past. How can you tell me that you are relying on INEC? INEC you are talking of, is it not the INEC that is under the upstream of the presidency? Is it not the INEC that is conducting that is CVR, continuous voter registration, that we don't know actually what they are doing? INEC, is it the INEC that will speak from both sides of their mouth? They will tell us that they have server. When their payment will tell them that we don't have server, they will say they don't have server. Is it the INEC is relying on? So let them go in and ensure that what their leader, that is PNB, President Muhammad Buhari, has told them that they are going to lose and they are going to lose. I think the president has said it all.
All right.
May God bless in the studio.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us. You can also drop your comments on our Facebook page. We're live on Facebook. Of course, the visuals of this program is running on our Facebook Live. Flow 949 FM, facebook.com/Flow 949 FM. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, Michael.
You're welcome. Good morning, comrade.
Yeah, Michael is me. My name is Ben Comrade Emmanuel Okok. I'm calling from Aba.
All right.
We will not lose. I know some people are praying for us to lose. We will not lose. There's no two ways about it. I know, let me agree in what our Gombo stakeholders, two of them, what they say concerns our great party. APC is a party that, for us, on the largest party in Africa. And in Abia here, we know we are disagreeing to agree. There's no two ways about it. I always tell you, Michael, in this particular program, that politics is about interest. And I believe, by the special grace of God, we will resolve our issues. But let me tell you, Michael, if they hand over the structure of the party to one individual, meaning there is a heavy problem in Abia, and I want to advise some people, let them not look at the issue of Abia as a political party issue. Where we are in Abia now, everybody is neutral.
All right.
The situation is very, very pathetic in Abia. So we are looking for a party who will reclaim them with APC, and they will tell them, and we must rescue Abia.
All right.
There's nothing worried about it.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us. Hello, good morning to you. Hello, you're live on radio. Good morning. Welcome to the platform on Flow FM. Okay, that didn't pull through. Okay, let's get more reactions on the phone lines now. Hello, good morning to you.
Yes, Mr. Michael, good morning.
You're welcome. Good morning.
Yes, this is Dr. Ken. I call from Calabar.
You're welcome, Doctor. Compliment of the season.
I wish you the same.
All right.
This crisis in APC, I believe, is all about interest. If you recall what the second person said, Ikechi has handled the party for 2 years without using any councillor or anything. But when Isikwe, which is the former governor of Abia State, came in, you see that APC won either 3 and 2 representatives in the executive. Now my question is, it's not even about. Our question is, who is coming to rescue Abia from the hands of the PDP? I'm not looking about their crisis. I'm looking about the kind of person that they will bring out so that the person will change the narrative of Abia State. Honestly speaking, when I come down to Abia State, I feel not like identifying myself as an adult. How many persons? Ikechi is the pro-chancellor of UNN. How many persons have he given work? The wife is ambassador. How many persons have they given work, even in their place? To compare with what George Okali is doing and then Carl. I don't want to be too sentimental, but let's see trend. Thank you so much.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us. Ezekiel is on the Facebook page says, brand new morning, Michael. Wishing you a wonderful morning. Week ahead, rather. AP's reconciliation and harmonization ahead of the forthcoming party national convention is a cheering news for all the party members. All party members' consensus should, as a matter of fact, shun distraction and be in unity with each other. And lastly, the newly elected party chairman in Abia State should swing into action with immediate effect and ensure the party is in a pure position, good position, I believe, to participate fully in the next year coming election. There is always light at the end of the tunnel. Much love from your friend. Hello, good morning to you. Welcome to the platform.
Good morning, Michael Oni.
You're welcome. Good morning.
Yeah, this is a voice from Enyuku Afaruku. Is my name.
You're welcome, Chris. Welcome on board.
Please, the crisis in Abia State is right obvious that there is crisis. But I want to tell you this morning that this crisis, even the national party, that APC will still win the presidency. Ask me why.
Why?
Why the APC will still win the Nigerian presidency #1 seat? is that the Easterners don't have the voting strength. The Southwest and the Northerners believe on the party APC. They don't believe in the Buhari. If the election come back again, all the Southwest will vote back APC. All the Northerners will still vote APC. So far as man is there or Yoruba. They want to pay us back because how we are agitating for Biafra and we are agitating for presidency. Which one? And when APC was pursuing this presidency in Abia State, in our this southeast, nobody, there's nothing like APC. It was the Southwest and the Northerners struggled for so many years before they clinged to power. How do you now think that the North will leave Southwest that give them power and give it to Southeast for presidency?
All right.
If the Southeast is still looking for presidency, they are think winning.
All right.
That's my word.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us.
Go to Southwest.
All right. Although we didn't ask of where the presidency will be zoned to, that's not the bone of contention this morning. Victor J. from Umasha says this integration of APC is not a surprise because there is no way stone, wood, iron can blend together no matter what APC. Remember, a few years back, we formed from amalgamation of different parties. They must break. Whatever goes up must come down. That's coming from Victor J. Kanu Zomba says APC winning at the center in 2023 is like a camel passing through the eye of a needle. And if a credible election is conducted in Nigeria, nobody prays to fall from frying pan to fire. That's coming from Kanu Zomba. Anyways, those are the messages we can take. Thank you very much for joining us. You can follow the conversation again on our YouTube page, Flow FM TV on YouTube, and also on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Flow949FM. And many thanks to my producer, Samson Eze, and the guys behind the visuals on our Facebook page, Stanley and Chinedu. Do enjoy the rest of your week. Stay out of trouble. My name is Michael Oni.